Hello everyone, this is Jorge Quintero, Technical Marketing Engineer for Cisco Security Business Group. And today we will talk about secure workload protecting terminal services environments. But before jumping into it, let's define what terminal services environments are. And this is a virtualization technology where you have a virtual machine or a bare metal server, and you can have multiple user sessions directly logging into that single instance. You can have multiple ways or approaches. For example, the remote desktop gateway that is using port 443 or HTTPS, or you can just use directly RDP in port 3389 on that virtual machine or bare metal instance with multiple users, right, in this multi-user session. Now, there is a difference with another technology in the virtualization space that is called VDI or Virtual Desktop Infrastructure, where in this case, the main difference is that each user that logs into that virtual machine or bare metal will get provisioned a dedicated desktop infrastructure, right? And if you want to know more information about this particular use case, please subscribe and also watch the demo and video from my colleague Emily. Now, in this scenario, we install the secure workload agent directly on that virtual machine or bare metal service. So we protect right in the source, and we can protect not only the network or 5 tuples, but also we can be as granular as to protect the user, processes, and service level, right? So very granular at that capability options that we offer to protect those multiple users that are running those applications there. So I will now exit the presentation mode. I will minimize this and we will go into our secure workload instance. And the very first thing I will do is to navigate to investigate and flows so we can see how we can get the users that are generating flows for a specific user session, right? So in this case, I will filter for the host name that contains RDP, and in this case, the host or server running terminal services is this RDP -1, right, or -1. I will just navigate here to top, click on users, and you see all the different users flows that we have seen from this terminal server, right? We see system users, right, like this NT authority, or you can see, for example, the user Ross, that is a user belonging to the doctors group, as well as my user that is an administrative user. So if I click on Ross and I filter it, you will see that I can see all the different flows that the user Ross has generated. For example, if I click on this one, we can see this flow, right, going to the public IP address, and we can see as well the user that generated it, that was Ross. Now we'll navigate to organize scopes and inventory, that is our organizational structure, and I will expand the admin organizational structure. I will click on the data center one, click on common services, and navigate to terminal services organizational structure. Here you can see that I have 2 workloads, RDP-1, that is my terminal server host, and RDP-2, that is my licensing host, right? So both are part of the terminal services infrastructure. I will click on the policy workspace, and you will see that I already have some policies defined. I have one deny policy and multiple allow policies. And if I click on this specific policy that is denying a traffic, and I hover over this warning icon, we can see that this policy has a process level configured in it. So if I click on any, you will see that I have defined a binary path for an application, in this case, the putty.exe application, that is a terminal application to access other devices using, for example, the protocol SSH, and it's also restricted, right, that we don't want any users belonging to the doctors groups to use this particular application. I will cancel this. I will hover now to another of these policies, in this case, the policy over here, terminal services to any IP address, right? And we see the same, right? We have 3 more policies with process-based controls. If I scroll down, I'm allowing, in this case, traffic from the binary path of the application putty.exe, but in this case, to domain admins only. If I cancel this and I go to the other two, that is port 80 and 443, the main difference here is that we are allowing all domain users to use the approved web browser, right? And in this case is Google, so they can browse the internet or internal resources using this specific browser, right? So the same will apply for port 443, as you can see here. So I will cancel this, and now I will navigate to my virtual desktop environment. Let's open it. You can see here, let me minimize this. So here we are in the jump host. Before going into the virtual desktop environment, I will first click on this one over here, click on the server manager, and here you can see that I am in the administrative session that I have for my user. Right, you can see here the different users that are logged in into this host. Now we'll just minimize a little bit this one, and we will jump into the other session that is available. That is this one, where we have our user Ross, right? So here we have the doctor user Ross, and if I try to access, for example, ESPN, you can see that I'm able to browse it. But if I decide to browse some different web page in a different port that is not port 80 or port 443, it will deny that traffic, right, based on our rules defined. Now, if I try to use the PuTTY application and try to do an SSH session to this device on the network, you will see that it will be denied right away, right? So I will minimize this one. Now we will jump into the administrative one. So my session here, I will just minimize this, and let's do the same exercise for the PuTTY application, right? Trying to access the same IP on port 22. And if I log in here, you can see that I'm able to log in that particular network device. Oh, that was a wrong password there, and you can see that I'm able. Now, if I try to access that same IP, but in a different port, you will notice that the system will not allow it, because the system was specifically allowing that application only to use port 22. Now, you can also check the rules that are on the system by using the specific command that we offer in our utility, that is setenf.exe space-l space-f, right, with those flags to list the available rules on the system. And you can see here, for example, the rule that is permitting traffic to port 80, right? The specific application, in this case, the Chrome web browser, and the groups, right, or users, that in this case is the domain users. You can see all the different rules. And if I scroll a little bit up, we will find the rule that is blocking traffic, right? In this case, for the doctors user group, right? That is blocking if they use the PuTTY application, right? We can see here the action, and if they belong to the doctors group. Now, with this, we conclude our demo for today. I hope you have enjoyed, and please remember to subscribe. Thank you very much, and have a good day.